another in Cognac's destiny, be it Celts, Romans, Visigoths, Merovingians, Carolingians, Vikings, Dukes of Aquitaine, kings and princes of England, barons of Poitou, counts of Angoulême, La Rochelle traders, French kings, Dutch distillers, Protestant exiles, Catholic zealots, English free traders, American horticulturalists, German invaders, or European Union bureaucrats. And just about anyone who ever lived in Cognac country or romped through it from the Bronze Age to the Internet Age has had a part, willing or not, in one conflict or another as France formed itself into a nation. People weren't fighting over brandy, of course, but again and again Cognac country found itself in the thick of various frays, whether during those long centuries when it was a premier winemaking region — its white wines were famous all over northern Europe — or since the late 1500s, when it began exporting the clear brandy called eau de vie and undertook its 400-year march to markets the world over. It was a rough journey, made all the more difficult by the ups and downs of international trade, from war-halted commerce to staggering import duties, from contraband and fakery to usurpation of the Cognac name. Then there's the love-hate business feud fought across the Atlantic between the Americans and the French in the name of protecting chicken prices or soybean shipments, the bottle of Cognac with a duty hammer raised above it at each turn of the story. And don't forget the awful diseases that have cut through the vineyard, or the tiny louse that arrived on native American vines and wiped out the vines of Europe, or the solution to this Armageddon that came again from America, using old Texas vines. Not least should you forget the German lieutenant who rushed into France with the Nazis, but, having been born and raised in Cognac himself, protected the stocks against his own thirsty armies. Doesn't this add up to a fine glass of luck? Lovers of Cognac will tell you that of course it should have survived the grind of history, because it unlocks the gastronomic soul of man and people crave it, because it can't be copied, and because it's simply perfect. Countless trading houses have watched over Cognac down through the years. Négociants like Hennessy, number 1. Remy-Martin, number 2. Martell and Courvoisier, tied for number 3. The giants who rule the realm today. Hundreds of others have come and gone, and yet these now-lost names speak of Cognac's perennial power to remake itself, to get through bad years and come out shining again, even if under someone else's roof. Many were those who shuddered as this family-run industry came to the attention of spirits groups back in the 1960s. But no disasters have occurred, even though almost all of the leading Cognac houses are now owned by multinationals. In fact, this industry is in excellent health, despite its many far-flung godfathers making decisions in places like Bermuda and Japan. In fine form but top-heavy, which may or may not be good, the top 4 houses control 74% of the market. The top 10 run 84%. That leaves only a sliver of the pie for dozens of other traders who manage despite the odds, but almost nothing for the independents who sell their own Cognac themselves. These proportions matter greatly, if only because there's so much money involved, a mega market worth €1.3 billion a year, or about $1.6 billion. 95% of that is exports. Put another way, more than 127 million bottles of Cognac were shipped in the 2003 calendar year, nearly 121 million of those heading abroad. America absorbs the lion's share at 41% of all exported Cognac. Some 153 countries import it. Hardly a spot on the planet remains out of reach. And yet, Cognac doesn't